Right. Um, Hello. Assalamualaikum. I think I should start by introducing myself. So, uh, yeah, my name is my full name is Muhammad Zaidan bin Muhammad Khalil. Usually, I just use the short form Zaidan Khalil, which is my name and also my father's name. That's usually the the norm that I used to go with, and people usually call me Zaidan or Zidan, whichever of those two. And yeah, this is my first podcast, episode 0, because always start with 0, not 1. Anyway, I think I should properly tell a bit about myself for episode numero uno. Wait, 0. Yeah, it's 0. Yeah. So a little bit about my background. Number one is I want to apologize because I can't really pronounce the letter R quite well. As the Malay would say, I'm pelat with the letter R. So forgive the pronunciation if it kind of destroys your ears. Anyway, a little bit about my background. So I'm 24 this year, about to turn 24, not yet, still 23. I study at UM. I studied computer science, major in information system at University Malaya, which is a local university here in Malaysia. And then so its information system is more like a bit, there's I took data science also as well, so it's kind of a mix of both information system and data science. Information system is more about working in a organization with information security, data governance, stuff like that. It's not really data science. And then there's the data science part, which is you do your data mining and stuff. So basically, I'm a computer science grad. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm currently working as a software engineer, associate level. So I think it's sort of like basically it's a junior level. So I graduated last year around January, end of January last year, 2021. And after a month after I graduated, I got a job which is on March. So my cool down time is only 1 month. And for that first job, it was as a mobile developer, which transitioned into full stack developer after 3-4 months. So what I did is I built a mobile app using Flutter for this company. It's sort of like they're trying to compete with JobStreet. That's all I can say about them. I'm not even sure if the company is still afloat, if it's still alive or not. But yeah, I was tasked to create a mobile application for them, and working with a really small team of a small tech team, and it transitioned into full stack because I sort of like need to. It's sort of like becoming a one-man job kind of thing, because the other developers were busy on the existing web platform. So I was the only one who because they're using Laravel, and then so if I'm not sure if you guys know, but so in the Laravel framework you can sort of like use their own middleware or something like that. So you don't necessarily need to create APIs in order to communicate the front end and back end for their web, I think. But because they don't exactly have API when I joined the company, so I sort of like had to migrate or recreate every single function that is, especially authentication, to support for the mobile application project. So uh, because of that, it's a bit of a cluster. I should mind my words. it's it's a bit of a it's a bit messy lah, I would say. My first job, so I I did learn a lot because because you transition into a full stack role. So because of that, you sort of like need to learn on the job basis. Learning on the job is sort of like it's a learning process, but it's not exactly a good one because you're under pressure constantly. Yeah, so that was my first job, and then I resigned 6 months after. I only stayed there for 6 months basically. Yeah, so 6 months is I can't exactly remember much. April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, I resigned at August, and at the time during my resignation, there was no company at all. There was no future for me. I was just totally burnt out during that period. So actually, before the resignation, I did go to interviews, but I thought they ghosted me, so I didn't really have any much. I didn't really looking forward to it. So when I resigned at July. Gave 1 month notice, so August is the end of August is my last day. So at the time, I didn't exactly have any offer, and I didn't exactly have any upcoming companies that I would work with, but I do have a plan, however, at that time. Yeah, I'm a man with a plan. Yeah, so my plan at the time was actually to brush up my skills, to study a bit more, because I did interview with this one company, which actually the current company I work with right now. By the way, if you guys don't know, currently this is my current employer. I think I can tell who's my current employer anyway. I think most of the Twitter guys know. So I work at Settle Ventures. So the company, the infamous Settle app, which people use to fuel their automobile at Petronas station. So basically, I'm a subsidiary of Petronas. Yeah, I'm still working there. Anyway, back to my first sort of like job. During my first job, I did interview with Settle. I'm not sure when exactly was the interview, but I did go through several stages. I think it was 2 stages. First is the technical, second is the behavioral. Actually, first is the HR, and then technical, and then behavioral with the engineering manager. And yeah, I think that was it. So it's sort of like 3-stage interview with them. Yeah, but during the technical assessment, I feel like I flunked the assessment. So during that time, I feel like, oh, there's in Malay we would say beza langit bumi lah. Like there's a huge, like a really huge gap of knowledge in terms of technical knowledge. That made me realize that I need to get out of my own way, get out of my comfort zone. I mean, it's not really that I'm in the comfort zone during my first job anyway. I mean, I was literally burnt out to the point that I quit without no plan. But yeah, that's the thing. It's not really a good place to really learn, to really absorb that knowledge fully. If you ask me about Laravel questions, I would say I didn't know. I didn't even, if you view my current resume, I didn't even put Laravel inside it because I totally forget about it. Maybe some basic principles about it, but yeah, if you ask me to do a Laravel job, I wouldn't say I can do it now. So yeah, that's the thing. Working under pressure, it's not really that good, to be honest. It's not really good for your growth, long term growth at least. At least in my experience, I think like that. Anyway, yeah, when I interviewed with Settle, which is my current employer, so I realized there's this big gap of knowledge, and I need to do something about it. And with the current demand at my first job, I can't exactly do it. So that's why I decided I quit without any companies lining up for me in the future. So because of that, it's sort of like a ballsy move, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing it, even though I know that in tech, in software development, it's quite easy, quote unquote easy to get the job, but not really. It's arguable. Maybe I can see in the comments, is it actually easy to get a software development job here in Malaysia? I'm not exactly able to answer that. For me, as in my experience, it is easy, but I think I should let the more experienced people answer that. We'll see about it. Anyway, yeah, back to it. I resigned without any company, so I plan to like study, brush up my skills for about 1 month. Not exactly doing lead code, just like really master that one specific framework, which at the time I really enjoyed using Flutter. So my plan was to really focus on that particular framework. So just focus on one niche at a time. Then a few days after my resignation, I got a call from Settle saying that I got the job. So yeah, I got the job around September-ish. It's early September, but regardless, I was like still in the burnout period. I still feel like, wait, did I actually get that job? Like, is this really happening? Like, I was in disbelief, actually. Until I get the contract, then okay, this is legit. I'm actually getting the job. So yeah, make sure it's black and white also. Anyway, yeah, after a few days of resignation, I think it's about a week plus, I would say, I got the call from the HR of Settle, and then I basically got the job. And then even though I got the job, I can like start immediately. I sort of like anyway, even though I did going back to the day I got the job, even though I did get it, I decided to still take my 2 months leave each, because that was the plan for me. Like I take 1 month leave. I take 1 month absence for self-study, for brushing up my skill, purely for that. And then once that 1 month is up, I would start looking for a company. So my plan was to start looking for it during October, and then hopefully by November I was employed again. But yeah, I sort of like follow the plan with Settle in a way, but I requested that I enroll into the position on November instead. So they were like, okay, can do that. And yeah, so I started with Settle Ventures, my current employer, on November of 2020. What year is this? 2021. Yeah, which was last year. This year is 2022. Man, I need to sync up with the years properly. Yeah. So how many months has it been for me? I think it's about, this is my 7th month. Yeah, this is my 7th month working with Settle, and I couldn't be more happier working here. I mean, I really feel the growth inside here. So I was employed. My position, my official position is Associate Software Development Engineer. So I think it's like level 1. It's basically junior. And the way it works is that I think they have 5 levels. So they have associate, and then they have mid-level, and then senior software engineer. They have staff software engineer, and then they have principal software engineer, and also they have like SWAT teams and also engineering managers. So it's sort of like following the Silicon Valley style kind of hierarchy, I would say. But yeah, so that was the current structure of the company, which I sort of like familiar with, and I've been looking at Facebook, Meta, and Google, Amazon, these big companies and their levels. It's sort of like similar to them as well, I would say. Probably because at the time my CTO is at Amazon, so probably he brings that kind of hierarchy system into it, which is, I think it's kind of cool. You know, I don't know if there's a lot of software companies in Malaysia doing that. Not sure. Maybe I want to say Grab, but then Grab is at Singapore, so anyway, yeah. So I've been working here at Settle for 7 months, and yeah, despite just doing front end, just doing Flutter, I feel like tremendous amount of growth. You know, I've been nurtured by my seniors. Should I name them? Maybe if I invite them to the podcast, then I can like reveal, this is my senior, you know, the one who babysits me, the one who teaches me about good coding practice, you know, DIY, WET, what new, whatever principles. Maybe one day we'll see how this the podcast goes along. You know, I'm just winging it at this point. So back here, I don't know. I've constructed this Notion page. I mean, I've been wanting to do like sort of like this sort of live update kind of thing, and I've been like shit posting on Twitter most of the time, but I think I kind of want to do it like sort of like properly. So, and I'm a bit lazy as well, so I think doing sort of like this podcast kind of thing, like just talking randomly, I'm not even like looking, I mean, there's no script basically, you know, I'm just talking nonsense, sort of, not really nonsense, but you know what I'm saying, right? So why am I doing this? Was one of the questions that I wrote. So I'm doing this because I feel like I want to look back in the future. I want to look back at this moment and then see, oh look, this is what I did when I was 24 years old or something like that. Yeah. So I want to see some sort of progression, and then maybe I can, I don't know, hopefully if I have kids I can show it to them, or maybe like to my juniors. Maybe at the time I was 30, and then at that time I had like junior engineers that I need to mentor, and then I don't have to tell them what I did. I can just, okay, here's my list of videos or podcasts, you can go look at it, listen to it, my life story ever since I was 24 years old. Something like that lah. And it's kind of like to fill in my time, you know, just talk. And yeah, and I do plan to do this like only for like half hour ish, you know. I don't want to drag it for way too long, simply because one, I'm quite busy, honestly, you know. I'm still a junior, I still have much to learn. And yeah, the task that was given to me is quite challenging. It's becoming more and more challenging lah, I would say, which is good. Actually, it's entertaining, and I've been sort of like decoupled. Like, I mean, it's not exactly I have like at this point of in my career, it's 7 months ish inside this company. I'm not exactly like being babysit anymore by my senior, you know. He sort of like let it go, so I just do my own shit, and then okay, and then please review it, you know, and then give testers the bill. Okay, can you test it please? Stuff like that, you know. I've been a bit independent, I would say. Yeah. So one, I don't have time. Two, yeah, 2 is actually I also don't have time. It's basically the same point. 2 is more like more towards this exact episode 0 of this podcast, which is I'm currently doing a GCP challenge, which is I think they sort of like open up like tutorials, modules, labs, and then you can complete it. You know, they sort of like give quests for you, and each quest have a number of labs, around 5 to 6 labs, and then you can just do it. It's more like AI ML stuff, you know, GCP, Google Cloud platform. And then yeah, I'm sort of like currently in the middle of that, and I need to like complete it before 26th of June, and currently it's 6th of June, and I plan to complete 15 quests or modules. So I plan to do it like once a day, one module each day. But one module it takes about like, I mean, one module has like 5 labs ish, and one lab it takes about 1 hour ish for me. So yeah, the first few, I don't it's not really a good timing, but you know, that's why I want to keep this like podcast just short, not too short but not too long, you know. So, and also simple, you know, I'm not gonna like edit or something like that. I just, you know, once it's completed, and then I just maybe, I don't know, slap some music or something like that, and they just post it online, maybe at YouTube or some podcast hosting provider. I haven't exactly looked into it yet, but yeah, I'm just going along with it. You know, I might improve in quality over time. You know, right now I have a video I'm using my iPhone to record it, even though I have a DSLR right there. But yeah, I'm a bit late. I just want to do things fast, you know, just do it. Yeah, just do it. As my CEO said, just do it. And then you just improve it along the way. Yeah, I think yeah, so for my final question is, what are the plans moving forward? I think I sort of like answered it in a way. My plans moving forward, I mean, yeah, in regards to this podcast, it's just like more like, okay, so what I plan is to like do this podcast on Sundays, and then post it on Monday morning, something like that. Yeah, and yeah, do it on Sunday night or Sunday evening, and then post it during the Monday. That was my plan, and then to do it weekly, or maybe once every 2 weeks. But currently I'm planning for weekly lah. We'll see how it goes. I'm planning for weekly, but yeah, plans can change, you know. It depends, because my work is still my number one priority. I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, so that will be the plans in terms of the podcast. How about in terms of like life, career progression? In terms of life, I'm just winging it right now, actually. Yeah, I don't exactly have any life plans, you know. I don't know what exactly is life plan, like why you get married or something like that. Maybe that's considered as life, but then I don't have a girlfriend at this moment, so why bother thinking about it, right? I think I will answer with in regards to career progression. So in terms of career progression, I think I would like stay in Settle, because right now they're really treating me very well. I mean, I feel valued here, and the challenges that, I mean, the workload, is it workload, or yeah, just work in the work that they gave in general is it's still interesting in me. And actually I'm sort of like learning iOS by this at the side, but yeah, I think it's on pause currently. I'm the Swift code challenge, at least my personal code challenge is on pause, because I'm focusing on the GCP stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think because they gave me like opportunity to learn, or to go inside the company. I mean, I've seen people to starting to sort of like transitioning into like QA more to become automation, and then front end becoming full stack. Not just inside my company, even with my colleagues, with my friends, they're starting with front end development in their company, and then they started to transition into full stack. They started doing back end and stuff. So I need to, in terms of career, what I know that I need to do is to keep moving forward, to keep improving myself, and that would be my career plan. In the long run, I'm not even sure if I mean, I do have a plan in the long run, but I think we'll just keep it to another day then. I think for now it should suffice for episode number 0, because it always starts with 0. I think it should suffice. The content currently should suffice. I think, oh man, I didn't really plan my closing. I'm not even sure if what should I say in closing podcast. I think I'll post it on YouTube, so just keep looking forward to it every week on Mondays 9 a.m. No, not really. No, not exactly 9 a.m. I sometimes wake up at 10:30 ish, and then I will wake up and then start meeting 10:45. Okay, click. Not even shower, just wash your face. That's pretty common, work from home stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I hope that this podcast, is entertaining for you, and if I post at YouTube, then I guess you can put your questions down in the comments ish kind of thing. So feel free to ask any questions, and usually I'm active on I want to say LinkedIn, but that's not exactly true though. Usually Reddit is not exactly. I mean, I'll maybe I'll put my Twitter there or something like that, But just in case that I didn't look into the YouTube comments or something like that. But and maybe one day I'll compile it into I extract the audio and then put it in a podcast hosting service, and then put it on Spotify and something like that. I mean, I've been researching about how to create a proper podcast, because a proper podcast is actually just audio, but you know what, I'm not really strive for perfection at this moment. Episode 0, it's a start of something, so I'm just gonna start it instead of just procrastinating time over time. I'm just gonna wing it right now. So as for closing, I think this is it for episode 0. I hope that I have the time to make episode 1 until end is infinite, I guess, until the age where I'm unable to do it. I don't know when exactly will be that. So every week, 52 weeks, so 52 episodes per year, something like that. That's a lot though, if I come back to think about it. Maybe 26, which is 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. You know what, I'm just gonna do it every week, and then if I feel like this is taking too much of my time or something like that, I think it shouldn't, because I'm just like, there's no script or anything. So I think I babbled too much at this point, so I'm just gonna end it. I would say looking forward to the next episode 1, which is I think I'll be talking about imposter syndrome. I already put it inside the plan in my Notion board, so looking forward to it next week or next 2 weeks. Alright, goodbye then.